He is one of the most intriguing characters that the Dragon Ball fandom had wanted to see more of ever since the Majin Buu saga first came around, in not only watching him debut against Goku in the Otherworld tournament, but also seeing him aid Goku and Vegeta in one of the most popular Dragon Ball Z movies ever, Fusion Reborn. But what if I told you that the story of Pikkon wasn't over? What if I told you that Pikkon had his sights set in wanting to once again fight Goku after gaining more experience? This is the story of Pikkon after Dragon Ball Z, as we dive into a short story of seeing what drove Pikkon in wanting to fight Goku again, along with his motivations and ambitions in becoming the absolute best possible warrior that he could be. As once more, before we begin, if you are new to this channel and have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball and anime related, then be sure to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to never miss a single upload. And if you guys love and enjoy Dragon Ball and cannot wait to see more, then be sure to go on ahead and slap a big fat like down below by giving this video a big thumbs up, along with checking out the official Dragon Ball fan mangas playlist located down in the description box below, to where there you will be able to find all the latest and best Dragon Ball fan mangas created by the community for the community. So be sure to take a minute to go on ahead and check that playlist out located down below. As we kick off the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Pikkon's Journey manga chapter special, with Pikkon finally having to visit King Kai, and upon visiting King Kai on his planet, King Kai goes on ahead to acknowledge Pikkon by stating, "Pikkon, I wasn't expecting to see you anytime soon. What brings you to my world? You seem to be in a good mood." As Pikkon goes on ahead to greet King Kai, he went along to tell him, "I am sorry for the sudden arrival. I actually came here today in hopes of speaking to you about Goku. I understand that it was you who taught Son Goku most of what he knows, along with helping him get stronger. And since you're already aware of what I'm capable of as a warrior, I would like for you to point out what my weaknesses are, that way I could improve." With King Kai then having to put into question as to why exactly Pikkon is here, he went along to say to himself, is he asking me this because he wants to fight Goku again? So Pikkon came to King Kai's planet for one reason and one reason only, and that's because Pikkon wants to gain more knowledge as to what exactly King Kai had taught Goku, in not only further conceding to the fact that King Kai was one of the trainers that helped Goku get so strong, but Pikkon also wants King Kai to point out his own weaknesses, that way he can improve himself as a warrior. But even then, King Kai is questioning this as to why he had come here and why he's specifically asking for him to point out his weaknesses. As only then King Kai went along to tell Pikkon, "Well, I will say, Pikkon, you remind me a lot of Piccolo from Earth. You're both very skilled and very serious fighters. However, you lack the experience that Piccolo and Son Goku have that you don't. Piccolo and Goku have gone through some of the most intense battles, most of which were against incredibly powerful foes and thus worked together to win, but they also gave their lives to save the ones they love. I really hope I didn't anger him in any way. He doesn't look so pleased," because Pikkon went along to question they did. So King Kai told Pikkon that yes, Pikkon personally reminds King Kai of Piccolo due to the sole fact that number one, they're very skilled, and number two, they seem to be very serious fighters, but the one quality that Pikkon lacks that Piccolo and Goku have is experience. As only then King Kai went along to continue in telling Pikkon, "Hey, wait a minute. I have an idea. If you want to get stronger and understand what Goku had gone through, then how about you go back down to Hell and spar against Goku's old rivals, Cell and Frieza?" As Pikkon went along to ask, "Wait, am I really allowed to go back down there?" As King Kai replied, "If you want to." As only then Pikkon is shown standing underneath a tree with his arms crossed and his eyes closed. As he went along to comment, "This won't be easy," King Kai once again is reminded of Piccolo, as King Kai goes on to say to himself, "Wow, he even has the same stance as Piccolo too. He seems sure of himself." So even King Kai goes on to further acknowledge that yes, there is a way for Pikkon to get stronger, and one of the only ways that Pikkon can improve as a warrior is if he goes back down to Hell and confronts and even trains against Goku's rivals Frieza and Cell. And with Pikkon having to walk back to King Kai after having to think about it, he slowly then begins to open his eyes as he then goes on to tell King Kai, "I'm ready. Show me the path to the gates of Hell, and from there, I'll speak to both Cell and Frieza to fight them." As the narration then goes on to state, Pikkon then left King Kai's world and traveled back down to Hell. Now, the one constant that we don't know about this is when exactly this takes place. Obviously, this takes place perhaps maybe many years after the initial fight between Goku and Pikkon against Cell and Frieza down in Hell, but we don't exactly know which timeline this takes place in, if any at all. This could be something absolutely different that does not correlate within the same timeline as Dragon Ball Super, but Pikkon agreed in asking King Kai to find the gates to Hell so he can go down there to talk to Cell and Frieza. As Pikkon finally makes his way back down to Hell, the narration greets us by letting us know Hell's prison. And with Pikkon approaching the gates of Hell, he then went along to state, "It's been a long time since I dealt with you two after you tried escaping this place." And with Cell and Frieza having to glance towards the gate, Pikkon then continues, "And yet I see that you're both the same." Now, just for the record, I didn't come here to chat. I came here to fight. With Cell completely dumbfounded by asking, "What?" Frieza just glances at Pikkon as Pikkon continues, "And to fight both of you at the same time." So Pikkon is literally throwing down the challenge in wanting to fight both Frieza and Cell at the exact same time. Which one could make the argument that perhaps maybe Pikkon has a chance, as Pikkon then continues, "I've come here to further understand the opponents Goku had to face in order to become as strong as he is now. The two of you are his ultimate rivals. So here's what we're going to do. If you both resist to honor my request, then you will remain in this cage for eternity. If you choose to fight me one-on-one, then make your decision now. You both have 10 seconds to figure out who will be the first to fight. After that, we will engage. If you defeat me and I submit to you, then I will allow your freedom to be granted here in Hell. But if you lose, you go back inside. Am I understood?" In basically laying down the ultimatum, as Pikkon then goes on to ask, "Now which one of you wants to go first?" 10, 9, and with perfect Cell without even saying a word to Frieza having to use instant transmission and stepping in, Frieza then went along to comment, "Of course the bug volunteers without asking me first." And I love how Pikkon doesn't really care who goes first, as he proceeds to count down 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, as Frieza goes on ahead to tell Pikkon, "Enough of this childish counting. I will be the first," and with Pikkon instantly teleporting behind Frieza without Frieza even understanding what had just happened, he proceeds to continue 3, 2, 1. As only then Pikkon finally steps outside onto Hell's battleground. And with Pikkon acknowledging the fact that Cell's going to go first, Pikkon went along to comment, "I hope you're ready, Cell." And with Frieza having to steadily observe from a distance, Pikkon remains eerily quiet as Cell goes on to comment, "This will be very enjoyable." As only then both Pikkon and Perfect Cell are shown having a beam struggle against one another, as of course we see how Pikkon's body's beginning to shake, Perfect Cell's body's beginning to shake, and this is a callback to when Perfect Cell basically had a beam struggle against Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, which I will add, I would love to see a fight go down involving the two, but as Pikkon is shown trying to hold off Perfect Cell's Kamehameha, out of nowhere, a stray energy blast suddenly then hits Pikkon on the head, as Pikkon's cap was grazed by the attack. When Pikkon looks on over, it was in fact Frieza who had fired off the initial shot. As Frieza then stands over Cell and Pikkon, Frieza then goes on to comment, "You're lucky my aim was off. Ho ho. You made a huge mistake by coming here." And with Cell having to be shown visibly angered by the fact that Frieza is getting involved in his fight, Perfect Cell is then shown shooting energy beams through his eyes, as of course he takes aim at Frieza. With Frieza quickly having to move out of the way, he then goes on to tell Cell, "How dare you, Cell? If that's how you want to play, Fine. As Perfect Cell responds, "This is my fight, Frieza. I won't warn you again. Stay away or die again." And with Frieza visibly angered by this comment, he is still then shown laughing as Frieza comments, "Die again?" I like the sound of that, and I love how as Cell and Pikkon are shown still having their beam struggle, Frieza then is preparing for a massive death ball as of course he begins to channel more energy into the attack. Frieza wastes no time while the beam struggle is happening in firing this death ball down onto the ground as Frieza then went along to cry out, "I don't care about fairness. I don't care about your existence. I am not going to stand by and let myself be chained down here anymore. I will erase the both of you." And with the attack having to rain down from the sky, Frieza is very adamant about taking down Pikkon and Cell, which of course to that we can see the frustration beginning to take place on Frieza because he doesn't want to be in hell. He doesn't want to sit back and watch Perfect Cell have the time of his life against Pikkon while Frieza simply sits back. So as Frieza launches this massive death ball, it actually ends up hitting Perfect Cell first, and with Pikkon instantly teleporting behind Frieza, Pikkon then proceeded in blasting Frieza from behind with a couple of energy blasts as Pikkon went along to tell Frieza, "You made a fatal mistake by interfering, Frieza." And once Pikkon is then shown easily getting rid of Frieza, he then goes back to Cell, which I will add is still standing after the death ball, and with Pikkon having to stand face to face against Cell, he then proceeds to do the exact same thing by blasting Cell directly in the chest, as later on we get to see how both Perfect Cell and Frieza are back behind bars in hell. As Pikkon slowly then begins to step away, he goes on to say to himself, "Now I understand what Goku had to go through. This isn't over. I'm going to beat you very soon," as the manga chapter special then comes to a close. Now, this manga is by far very different in comparison to what we normally get in the fan manga community. As an example, we normally get fan mangas about UI Goku, we normally get fan mangas about Broly, Jiren, but this is different, and this is showcasing a fighter that I don't think really is featured in mostly any fan manga to begin with, and I would really like to see more of what Pikkon can do in the form of a fan manga in the foreseeable future. But what I really enjoy is seeing how Pikkon is being written in the fact that Pikkon is seeking to find a similar strength in which made Goku the warrior that he is today, and by going to King Kai and further asking him for advice, I think is a pretty cool thing to see, and I think a step in the right direction in seeing how Pikkon evolves as a character. So I think that down the line we should be able to see more fan mangas like this, because I personally enjoyed watching Pikkon actually throw down against these two. But in the end, I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below about Pikkon. Do you think that Pikkon should be a major factor when Dragon Ball Super returns? What are your overall thoughts on Pikkon as a character? And if you guys have not checked out my previous Dragon Ball fan mangas, then you guys can go on ahead and click the description box down below and check out some of the absolute best fan mangas produced by the community for the community, to in which we have hundreds upon hundreds of different fan mangas on the channel, so be sure to go on ahead and check those out located down below. Thank you all so much for your time, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys can find the original creators link located down below, as well as the translations which were done by DBS Nexus over on Instagram. So again, thank you all so much for watching. If of course you guys are new to the channel and love anime and Dragon Ball, then don't forget to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to never miss a single upload. Give this video a big fat like if you guys enjoyed by slapping that thumbs up button. Tune back in for the next video. Follow me on Twitter, guys, and make sure you guys enable all notifications to never miss a single upload. Thank you all so much for your time. Thank you all once more for watching, and I'll be seeing you all down the comment section below. Take it easy, guys. Peace. And a quick little reminder before you guys go, if you guys are unaware, I do have a second gaming channel located down in the description box below, so be sure to head on over to Unreal Royale and hit that subscribe button along with turning on all notifications, as to there you guys will find all different kinds of gaming content that you will not get to find on UnrealEntGaming, titles and video games such as Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, Gears of War, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, Dragon Ball Z Legends, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi Tenkaichi 3, Minecraft, Blair Witch, and many other retro games on that channel. So if you guys are into gaming, then make sure you guys subscribe over on Unreal Royale. I want to thank you all so much for your time, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
This is the Galactic Emperor of the Universe, and of course I'm here to tell you to subscribe to UnrealEntGaming.
Also follow UnrealEntGaming on these social media platforms to stay connected at all times. And if you don't, then very soon you will all be dead! Oh, did someone say UnrealEntGaming? Oh my god.
The fuck's up, on? Put on some clothes!
Well, why don't you put on any clothes?
What? I don't need clothes. Jesus Christ, that's huge! What, Broly?
Frieza.
Uh-oh.
Prepare to die!
But once you get video, lots of likes, or Bill will turn you into chocolate! Vados, get over here! Tell these mortals that I'm the biggest UnrealEntGaming fan. This is my moment. I'm a part of his notification squad. Universe 7 can have all the fun. I just want the food.
And don't forget to leave a comment on this video. Show some love for the best community on YouTube.
Kakarot!